music. Non-copyright music influence. Adjustment there. Okay, and we're live. It's 6 o'clock. I am Landon Peets, and I'm in Folsom, California, and it has been super hot lately, and I'm excited to be inside, surrounded by comic books, where it's nice and air conditioned. I changed the microphone, so if everyone can hear me, just let me know one way or another. I always appreciate feedback. Same with video quality or anything else. If you hear what sounds like a horror movie where the door handle is shaking back and forth, that is my cat Bill. He knows how to open doors, and my cats are not super happy that I closed the door to the upstairs on them. So they might come in, they might push over some lights and cameras and things, but we'll just roll with it. They are my only 2 employees. We've talked about a lot of the protocols and procedures, and they just haven't quite picked it up yet, but I think they have potential. Anyways, I have some comics to talk about, which is the whole point. And the last 3 live sales were tests. This is my first kind of official live sale where I think we have a format that works very well. Of course, we're always going to improve as we move forward. But that is why I'm going to go over a few of the books, which I think are the best books from the last 3 shows right now. And one more thing, let's see. I'm going to bring up the chat so I can see it, just in case. But I'll go ahead and fill up this wall first, and then I'll bring up the chat so I can see what you guys are saying, if you guys are saying anything, or if there are any people at all. Odds are maybe. I'll be optimistic. So this is Spider-Girl #1. It's a newsstand, 8.5. It's not her first appearance, but it is her first solo series. Beautiful cover art. That one's $49, and it's a 1998 newsstand. So I mean, super hard to come by, especially in higher grade. I consider 8.5 and higher to be like investment grade. So this is just meeting that. And I'm going to put that up on A. We got, this is her first appearance. It's the What If #105. So Spider-Girl, which is actually different from Spider-Woman. Same with Spider-Man and Spider-Boy. Those are all different people. So this is her first appearance. It's also a newsstand. It's not as high. This is, I would say, not investment grade. It's a 6.0, but it's still a very nice, solid book. And I'm going to go ahead and put this one up on B. I'll go a little quicker on these just because I have done them before. You can always go back to older videos and watch them again. And based on what happens live or based on the comments, most of the books will probably still be available for claiming. So it's the same procedure. You would type claim in the letter like you would live in the chat. There's the door handle. It's my cat Bill. I might just open the door for him. We'll see. But then also in the comments of a posted video after it's live, you can go ahead and just claim in the letter, and I will definitely be in the habit of checking the comments and responding accordingly. So we got Deadpool #1. We are, I would say, just a couple of weeks, I believe, away from the Deadpool. Yeah, it comes out on July 4th. Independence Day movie. Yeah, so we're barely over a week away from the 3rd Deadpool movie coming out. So here's issue #1, 9.4 for $69. Gonna go up on C. And I got those 2 newsstand copies of Wolverine '88. That's the first time Deadpool and Wolverine fight each other. They're both 6.5s for $65. And those are going to go up on D. Let's see, we have Wolverine #24 in an 8.5 for $34. Just a really cool Wolverine cover. I'm gonna put this guy up on E. We got #17 in a 7.5 plus. Beautiful cover. That one's $16, and that's gonna go up on F right here. We got X-Men 211 and a 9.2 for $26. This is the 25th anniversary Marvel border. They did it for every single title that was coming out that week, and it represents 25 years since Fantastic Four #1 was originally published in 1961, which means this is a 1986 book, if my math is correct. Go ahead and put that up on G. Ghost Rider Volume 2, #1. I believe this is the first, it's not Donny Cates Ghost Rider. I'll have to double check. It's a 9.4 for $49. I think Donny Cates is a comic creator. Let's see, what's this guy's name? First appearance of Ghost Rider, Johnny Ketch. There you go. Origin of New Ghost Rider, first appearance of Death Watch, first appearance of Barbara Ketch. Going up on H. Based on the name Barbara, I would assume that is his mom, as that's the name of my grandma. But it's totally cool if he named his daughter that as well. Silver Surfer, this is a, I believe it's a one-shot, so it's Volume 2, #1. It's a one-shot. The next ongoing series, I believe, is Volume 3. This is a 9.2 for $49. Do have 2 copies of this. These are going to go up on I. And we got Hulk 348 newsstand 8.0, just under investment grade, but it is that beautiful Todd McFarlane, super iconic title interaction cover, $39. It's going to go up on J. All right, first Thunderbolts. So I guess General Ross is kind of a good guy in this. He's the main Hulk villain, as far as I know, pretty much indefinitely, though the Thunderbolts are, in fact, I'm assuming they're a good guy team. Maybe they're kind of in the middle. Maybe they're vigilantes. I should probably read this comic book and find out. But if anybody knows and cares to share, I would love your opinion on the story and help me get my facts straight. So it's Hulk 449 and 8.5 for $70. It's going to go up on K. Radioactive Man #1 is one of my personal favorites. I still think all the Simpsons keys are really undervalued. There's not, like, there's a decent amount of them out there. There's not a ton. As far as high grade copies, if you can pick them up for cheap, I highly recommend it. I think they have great potential in that 10, 15 year. I would say that's a long-term investment plan when it comes to comic books as an alternative asset. But as always, I recommend purchasing or collecting books that you enjoy so that you get something out of them while you own them, instead of just, when you buy it and sell it, and hopefully the selling is larger than the buying. But Radioactive Man #1 is going to go up on L. And we got Spawn #1. That's the beginning of the, I would say, like the modern age of comics, where for the first time the independent comic book publishing companies represented a meaningful share of the market. It's not just Marvel and DC, but you actually have Image, led by some awesome talent, mostly from Marvel, making a big splash and holding on to roughly 10% of the market, and that's been pretty much consistent since. So Spawn #1, 8.0, $29. Gonna go up on M for McFarlane. Just like that, Radioactive Man #1, we got Futurama Comics #1, 7.0 for $49. As a kid, I did not appreciate that show very much, but I had some awesome roommates in college who were often found eating cereal in that 2 to 3 p.m. range. So they enjoyed shows like Futurama, Beavis and Butthead, etc. And I got some decent exposure to Futurama, and I greatly enjoyed it. And was a little bummed that I was so Simpsons oriented growing up as a kid, and always changed the channel when Futurama came out. It is a little bit more adult oriented, but it is a fantastic show, and I would assume expect no less from the comic book series. And as far as the #1s for the Simpsons books, like which ones are harder to find, Futurama #1 is the one that I see the least. I see literally millions of books from the 80s and 90s. So if a book from that era significantly presents as difficult to find, especially relative to like Bartman, Radioactive Man, Simpsons Comics #1, I actually think that's pretty significant, and you're considering where those books are headed value-wise in the near future. Also, we got Static #1. This is the biggest, most valuable book from the Milestone sub-label from DC. And just a reminder, Milestone was exclusively African-American creators with African-American superheroes in a time before it was popular, but it wasn't a common thing. And, you know, when it was before the internet and you didn't have as many people throwing their support or their opinion in one way or the other. So this happened completely independently in an era just preceding ours. And I do think these books, just like the Miles Morales Spider-Man, the various Black Panther, Luke Cage keys, are going to be significant in the near future. And also in high grade, they're a little bit difficult to come by. These originally came in a polyback, and as always, if I'm the one that took them out, and they had a whole bunch of cool like cards, posters, things like that with them, I always include that with the book because I want to make sure you as the customer get as much as you possibly can for your money. And I'm going to put that up on O. And just please forgive me if there are any claims right now, just in case I didn't put my chat monitor on. I went up to the very last minute processing books to make sure I had some new material for you guys. And that kind of matched the pictures and the different content I've been posting all week. We got Preacher #1, 92 plus for $80. That's going to go on P for Preacher. I love when that works out. We have the little things in life. Super Mario Brothers #1. This is the first Nintendo, first Mario. It's a great cover. These are also books from that same era that don't come across my desk very often. Highly recommend this book if you're in any way a Nintendo fan. And of course, as a one of the better, I would say, like kind of like penny stocks when it comes to comic book investing. If you can get in early on books like this, I think there's only an upside, very, very low risk to the purchaser. So you have, it's $59, #1, 60. And it's going to go on Q. We have The Lion King #1. It's a 9.2. It's a second print. All the second prints are newsstands. So that's not as significant for this book specifically. However, when I saw Inside Out #2, I found out there's going to be a Lion King prequel. So you might see these books get popular in the near future. I'd say in the next 6 months to a year. So this is $49 for #1. There are significantly less second prints than first prints. And go up on R. I just love the art on this. I love the Mandalorian show. This is some of the best cover presentation for Boba Fett in the Star Wars comic books. This is a 9.2 for $69. This is straight from 1995, and this is issue 1. And one more time, I think the last time I put these out for sale is going to be the Berkeley show, which I will be at on, I believe, Sunday, the 29th. The Berkeley Comic Show, which is obviously in Berkeley. I forget the hours. I think it's like 11 to 5. I'll offer these guys one more time. Otherwise, I'm just going to go back to my personal collection. These are the only books from my personal collection that I have offered for sale that I can remember. So this is Planet Comics #1 with that beautiful Dave Stevens art, 9.6 white pages for $750. And it's going to go on T. Then I'm just going to bring up the chat on my monitor here. I'll catch up with any comments if there are any, and give you guys a few seconds with the wall here. And then we're going to dive into some brand new material that has not been put up on the show yet. I didn't miss anything. Plans for going to. All right, so this wall will mostly be for when this video is uploaded, and I'll go ahead and comment in there, or I'll add in the description that all of the first wall is still available, which is very easy and straightforward and convenient for anyone who was not able to catch the live sale. We got Spider-Girl on A, we had the What If 105 on B, Deadpool 1 on C, Wolverine 88 on D, Wolverine 24 on E, we got Wolverine 17 on F, X-Men 211 on G, Ghost Rider 1 on H, Silver Surfer 1 on I, Hulk 348 on J, we got Hulk 449 on K, Radioactive Man number 1 on L, Spawn number 1 on M, Futurama number 1 on N, Static number 1 on O, Creature number 1 on P, Super Mario Brothers number 1 on Q, Lion King number 1 on R, Boba Fett Special on S, and that Planet Comics on T. All right. Next up, have some new stuff, which is very fun. This is from a collection that I bought about a week ago. Make sure that's centered up right there. Perfect. Fat Dad here. Hey, how are we doing? Thank you for tuning in, Jeremy. I really appreciate it. This is pretty much the first official sale, and I'm glad you're a part of it. We did a lot of sales together back during COVID when I still worked at A1. So we got Captain America number 1. It's a 9.0 for $19. This is the first brief appearance of the Winter Soldier. It's a really, really well done story by Ed Brubaker. And if I remember correctly, or don't remember correctly, Steve Epting is the artist. Beautiful cover layouts. First cameo appearance of Winter Soldier. I forgot the word cameo. So this is going to go up on A. This is brand new material. I took out of a collection today. I was working on this up until the last minute, so I'm pretty excited to go through it. We got Spider-Man 2099 number 1, which is arguably the first appearance of Miguel O'Hara, the Spider-Man 2099. Yeah, he was in the last Spider-Verse movie. I thought they did a great job with him. There's also that preview in Amazing Spider-Man 365. So whether people want to count a preview or not, typically I do. I figure if it's printed as a comic, the character's in the comic, and it's their story, and you get to find out who he is before the first issue, then to me that's the first appearance. Well, this does have a great cover, but again, that Amazing 365 cover does stand out as well. It's the one with the black border and the foil, the foil center, Hall foil center. Hey Martin, how are we doing? Good to see you. Thank you for checking it out. So I'm going to put that book on B. We got Knight Rider number 1. This is not the 80s TV show Knight Rider that I've admittedly never seen an episode of, but heard of many times. This is kind of like the first, like the early Ghost Rider. It's similar. It looks similar. I'm sure the stories are completely different, but it's issue 1, $24. There's a whole slew of genre number 1s from Marvel in the Bronze Age. This is one of them. Severely overlooked in the market. It's a very, very easy access point for these books, and most of them didn't go for very many issues. They were not popular when they came out, and I don't think they ever have been since. But again, if it has nice cover art, a nice layout, cool character, good creators, I think those are all different characteristics that lend towards the potential for a book being used in alternative media, which is often the reason why books go up in value. So I'm going to put that up on C. We got Avengers number 70 and a 5.5 for $32. And let's see, it is first full team appearance in Origin of Squadron Sinister, which is Hyperion, Dr. Spectrum, Nighthawk, and Whizzer. I wonder what his superpower is. Go up on D. We got Avengers King Size Annual number 10, first appearance of Rogue. It's a 5.5 for $29. Very, very affordable. Super important X-Men key. That's going to go up on E. Got Justice League number 1, 92 plus for $16. This is a beautiful Michael Turner cover. I love his independent work like he did on Fathom. But man, he does superheroes extremely well, in my opinion, especially when he has the right inker. This is the variant cover for this, and yeah, it's just number 1 from 2006. We'll go up on F. I actually have some newer books here from the 2000s. Mix it up a bit. The New 52 Action Comics number 1, 9.4 for $19, and this is the Jim Lee variant, which is going to go up on G for Jim. We got Infinite Crisis number 1. It's a 9.0 for $12. And again, this is the Jim Lee variant. He just does great cover layouts. I wouldn't have included this, but I have number 3 and 5 as well, which are the Jaime Reyes keys. And I remember he got popular for a little while, settled back down. We haven't seen him in any shows or movies yet, to my knowledge. So I would say it's still a good time to, if you're a fan of Jaime Reyes, to go ahead and pick some of those books up. So this is issue 1. Issue 3 is the first appearance of him not in the Blue Beetle costume. And issue 5 is his first appearance in the Blue Beetle costume. So this is cover A for number 3 in a 9.0 for $16. And then I have cover B, or the variant cover by Jim Lee, which is, I would say, the more attractive cover and the more collectible cover, 9.2 plus, that's investment grade, issue 5 for $26, first appearance of the 3rd Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes. And that's going to go under J for Jaime. Batman 655. I actually, admittedly, learned this today. I don't know if I've seen these that many times. First appearance of Damian Wayne, who I believe is like the 4th or 5th Robin. Obviously, his last name is Wayne. It's Bruce Wayne's son, and he's the child of Bruce and Talia al Ghul. So this is his first cameo appearance, I believe, in the Shadows. It's an 8.0 for $22, and then we have his first full appearance in, I think, the final frame. It's a 9.0 for $29. It's the following issue, 656. It's going to go up on L. 655 is on K. And then I have his first cover appearance, but he's not super happy with Batman. It's a 7.5 for $11. It's issue 657, and that's going to go up on M. Thoughts on naming your kid Damien? Maybe they didn't name him. Who knows? Thanos Legacy number 1, 9.0 plus for $12. It's just a really cool Clayton Crane variant, extremely popular. Typically variant cover artist, very, very vivid colors, really, really nice painted layouts. I do believe he uses some digital assets to complement his pencil work, but he blends those together very, very well. And it's just $12, number 1, great Thanos cover, and you have the Cosmic Ghost Rider on the cover as well. Pretty hard to beat for modern books. I love the Hawkeye TV show. This is the first appearance of the 2nd Hawkeye, and I am Kate Bishop. There we go, Kate Bishop. So this is her first appearance, 9.0 for $12. That's going to go up on O. We're definitely going to see her again in probably the movies, but certainly the shows. And I think $12 is a steal for that book, but that's what the market is right now, so that's the price I'm going to put on it. We got Darker Image number 1. This is the platinum kind of premium edition, so it's the black and white art instead of the color art. This is that really, really nice Sam Keith cover. First appearance of Max, Bloodwolf, and one more, because I only put Max on the back, but it's 9.0 plus for $21. And this one you see significantly less than the regular one. We got Power Rangers number 1, 9.2 plus for $29. This is Saban's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, first appearance in comic books. I think didn't see the last Power Rangers movie. I don't remember hearing much about it. I'll probably check it out one of these days. But there's always, always, always potential for Power Rangers, especially as a 90s kid. I will never pass up checking out more Power Rangers content. So this is going to go up on Q, and I have two other copies that are, I believe, they're 9.0s. I think they're $21 each. But these are going to go up on Q. Daddy-o. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Jeremy. That is actually one of the differences between the A1 Live Sale when I was there. I don't know. Again, I didn't watch it much after I left, but that's something that I really wanted to spend a lot more time on. I'm definitely a quality over quantity shopkeeper, I suppose. I don't refer to myself that way very often. But that being said, yeah, I think talking about the art, the creators, the time period they came out, and how that reflects in the creative approach is just as interesting, if not more, than just talking about the prices in the market. So I try to do a little bit of everything, and it really warms my heart that you noticed that. Thank you so much. So this is Doom, Dr. Doom 2099 special. It's a one shot. 9.6 for $19. This is one of those 90s books that I don't see super often. Has some pretty cool cover art. It is a wraparound cover, and I just wanted to give everyone an opportunity to see this one, as probably not going to see it on the wall very many shops or conventions. Marvel Superhero Contest of Champions. It's 8.0 for $16. Cool thing about this book is it's the first miniseries, period. Not the first Marvel miniseries, not the first, superhero miniseries. Like, as far as comics go, this is the first limited series. So you have like your ongoing titles, Action Comics 1 through 500, Amazing Spider-Man, and all these different. There's different story arcs, different creators, but the numbering system just keeps on growing. Well, started as a gimmick, turned into something that's just part of the industry now. This is the first time a company decided to take a story outside of all of the main titles, know that they were going to end at a certain number, just tell that story and move on. So Marvel Contest of Champions is a pretty significant book, and I believe that's Art Adams cover. Really cool collage cover. Marcus, what's up, man? How you doing? Let's see. No, sorry, cover art by John Romita Jr. Should not be confusing those two artists. Hopefully the comic book gods will forgive me. West Coast Avengers number 45. You recognize that one? It's from the WandaVision show? Or so? No? All right. So White Vision was made famous by towards the end of the WandaVision show. His first appearance is in West Coast Avengers number 45. This is an 8.0 for $16. And I actually really, really enjoyed that show, but this is it was the kind of like the robot version of him that Vision ends up fighting in kind of a Gemini Man story, a brief storyline at the end of that show. So I can put this up on T. We got a full wall here. Just a little bit more time, I believe. And I'll give you guys a second to take that in, and then I will move on to one final wall, and we'll call it a night. If you guys have any questions or feedback, now's a great time. Okay. You saw that show. Oh. Thank you. Oh, that's cool to pass up. Okay. All right, so we got that Captain America 1 on A, Spider-Man 2099 number 1 on B, Knight Rider 1 on C, Avengers 70 on D, King Size Avengers Annual 10 on E, Justice League, this is the 2006 series, number 1 on F, Action Comics New 52 number 1 on G, Infinite Crisis number 1 on H, we got issue 3 on I, 5 First Blue Beetle on J, And we got all the Damian Wang keys here. First cameo on K, first appearance on L, first cover on M, Thanos Legacy #1, the Clayton Crane on N, first Kate Bishop on O, Darker Image #1 on P, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #1 on Q, Dr. Doom Special on R. Who's the artist on this? Tim Hildebrandt. Oh, Greg and Tim Hildebrandt. So we got I'm assuming a brothers duo art collaboration on here. Contest of Champions #1 on S, and West Coast Avengers 45 on T. All right. Well, again, we got Wolverine, a Wolverine movie coming out that I'm super excited, and this has always been one of my favorite series. This is a 12-part series, which is the first kind of Weapon X story. It's the reimagining of Wolverine's origin, which is the one that they use in the movies and has pretty much become the accepted canon ever since. It's the story of how he gets the adamantium grafted to his skeleton and the way he was treated and how he gets his amnesia as well, which are all critical parts to, I would say, the Wolverine storyline that makes it so interesting. So I'm going to put, so the first part of the series is actually issue 72 of Marvel Comics Presents. Marvel Comics Presents is an anthology book, so there's 4 different stories in every issue, one of which is always a Wolverine series or story, and then there's the 12 issues in a row have the 12 Wolverine stories that all together make the Weapon X story, and it is drawn and written by Barry Windsor Smith, and this, I would say, represents him at his absolute best. Bill is still trying to break in. He usually knows how to use the door handle, so let's see. Buddy, don't knock the camera over. Okay, so 9.4 for $29. That's investment grade. It's going to go up on A. Awesome comic. It's a beautiful cover too. I really like the color palette Barry Windsor Smith utilizes both on the covers and inside. If you can find it, there's an oversized hardback collection of this story. This is one of the coolest books that I've ever purchased, and definitely part of my personal collection. So we got 73. It's 9.2 for 18. I think these are all pretty similar in grade. If that's the case, I'll be more than happy to put them all together as a set for somebody if they're interested in getting all of them at a little bit of a discount. And if I fall down, it's because I have multiple cats at my feet. So we got 9.4 for $24. This is issue 74. Have okay, so this is why it's not a set. It's because this is a little bit too far away from the other grades. I like it to be consistent in grade. It doesn't matter if it's high or low, but this one's an 8.0, so that's kind of an outlier. So I probably won't put it together as a set. It's $8. We got a 9.4 for 19, issue 76, almost a silhouette Wolverine murder cover. And Wolverine in the Snow. It's a 9.2 for issue 77. That one's $16. I'm going to put it up on F. It's going to be a tragedy if it's just that one single issue that's keeping this from being a set. Maybe I'll be able to find another one. So 78 is a 9.0 for 14. 79 is, I actually had that toy growing up. It's a really, really fun toy. It kind of looks goofy with the big thing on its head, but I had no idea, obviously, like what story that was coming from as a kid. But it's just an iconic cover, and always makes me really enjoy my job when I see it. So it's 9.2 plus for $26 for 79. It's going to go up on H. And number 81 is a 9.2 for 14. It is just going to be that issue 75 that's keeping this from being a homogenous set. We got 81's a 9.2 plus for $12. 82's a 9.4 for 17. We got J for 81. K for 82. 83 is going to go on L. It's a 9.2 for 14. He's on fire. Does his hair regenerate as fast as his skin, or does he have to like wait for that to grow back? Because then it would have to stop at a certain length all the time. but he probably has to get haircuts. So he's probably going to be bald for a while after that. Never thought about that. Well, Weapon X 8492. This is the final issue of the 12 issue series for $14. That's going to go up on M. Uh, what is that? Francisco. Yeah, I will be doing sets. I had some up last week. If you want to check those out, they're still available because these videos upload after the live sale. But I actually have a lot more sets coming. So when I put them together, I'll make sure I post them on the Instagram. And if there's any you're interested in, just let me know. Here's a cool variant. This is the third printing of Amazing Spider-Man 583. Marvel Comics definitely chose a side. They definitely lean a little more liberal, but they were celebrating the election of Barack Obama in 2008. This is $14. It's going to go up on N. Punisher number 475 for $16. The cool thing about this book is the Punisher has 6 fingers on his right hand. You'll notice he has 4 fingers around the handle of the gun before his trigger finger, and obviously he also has a thumb. So you got 4 fingers, trigger finger, and a thumb. 6 fingers. I'm sorry, you'll never be able to not see it, but kind of my favorite thing about this book. And that was Mike Zeck. That's going to go up on O. And I believe also for that limited series, it says it's a 4-issue limited series for issues 1 through 4. And then there's an issue 5 that says it's issue 5 of a 5-issue limited series. So I don't think the editor maybe took the day off or was drinking. Daredevil 181, I believe, spoiler alert, it's the death of Elektra. She comes back. Let me see if there's anything else I can spoil. It's a 9.0 plus or $24. That's going to go up on P. Daredevil 183 to 8.0 for 17. It's the first fight between Punisher and Daredevil. That was featured in season 2 of the Daredevil show, which was awesome, and it's just one of my favorite covers. You rarely see the main protagonist of a title just getting absolutely wrecked on the cover of their book, and especially at the time Punisher was a relatively new character. So I bet you that was pretty eye-catching when it first came out on the newsstands. That's going to go up on Q. We have Moon Knight, number 57. I don't think this is a key either, but it's just one of the coolest covers for the Mark Spector Moon Knight series. It's a 9.2 for $32. That's a Stephen Platt cover. Obviously, he was picked because his style was pretty darn close to Todd McFarlane's. Marvel really liked to have artists who are similar in style follow each other, so you'd have a more visual continuity kind of feeling. When artists went off to do something else, on which they often did, probably just to keep things interesting. And of course, Todd McFarlane ended up going off and starting Image, but Stephen Platt did a great job, and then he really got to stretch his legs on the Mark Spector Moon Knight series. And it's going to go up on R. We have Terror Inc. number 1, 9.4 for $12. So just like the 70s and the Bronze Age, there was a point in the 90s or maybe late 80s where 90s, where Marvel has a whole slew of number 1s, a lot of genre books, and Terror Inc. was one of those, probably regarded as a failed experiment. But you're not going to see it offered very often, so I'm offering it here. $12, number 1, perfectly. All right, we got a claim. Fat Daddy, thank you very much. Claim on H. All right, Weapon X. Got Marvel Comics Presents number 79, 9.2 plus for $26 for Fat Daddy. Thank you so much, Jeremy. All right, we got Iron Man number 212 for $14. Again, it's the 25th anniversary frame. I'm going to put that up on T. And I'll give you guys just 1 second. Let's see what time we're looking at. Yeah, so we have time for one more wall. I'm just going to finish up the books that I prepared for today, and I'll give you guys a second with the rest of this one, and we'll keep going. Oh, Jeremy, I'll be on until 7:15. I'm going to use the Facebook events to kind of tell how long I'll be up. Typically an hour, and then I'll make an adjustment if I need to at some point. All right. The Marvel Comics presents Weapon X. Not set, but most of the series on A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So glad I learned my ABC so well in school. So glad I went to college. Got I, J, K, and L. It's definitely in my probably top 5, top 10 comic book stories, period. It is a really cool read. So we got the Obama, Amazing Spider-Man on N, Punisher on O, Daredevil, Dead Electra on P, Daredevil on Q, the Punisher fight, Mark Spector Moon Knight on R, Terror Inc. #1 on S, Iron Man 212 on T. Okay. We have Darkhawk #1 with a little bit of glare. 9.2 for $16. It's going to go up on A, just like that Terror Inc. #1. Marvel's trying some stuff. I don't think any of it stuck. Mighty Thor 411. This was a pretty popular book for a while. We're getting a lot of meows right now, aren't we? That's so normal for me, but I'm sure it's probably throwing some people off. Hey, you guys are making this this live stream or claim sale very unique, because I bet you other shop owners don't have constant meows in the background. Okay. Okay, this is a 9.2 plus for $21 on B. I think my staff is trying to tell me something. Probably has to do with food. House of Secrets #82. So I have a stream, a slew, a series, a set, a few Neil Adams covers. So this is this one's $16. House of Secrets. He did a bunch of work for DC in his prime. Most of the covers are solid. Some are iconic, but they're all good. There's really no clunkers. Superboy #148. It's a 5.5 for $19. These aren't really high grade, but they are solid, and these are late Silver Age or early Bronze Age. So I still think that's really solid if you're putting together some Neil Adams. Claim meow. Thanks, Martin. Superboy 149 and a 5.0 for 17. And oh, maybe they're trying to claim stuff. That would be super useful, because based on the number of meows, they pretty much claimed everything I put up. Superboy 150 and a 4.5 for $14. And Tales of the Unexpected. That's also a Neil Adams cover, but I think it is, at least. Let me see. Before I No, this is Dick Dillon. I was going to say it looks nothing like Neil Adams. The reason I put the Tales of the Unexpected #21 is because the first comic book I remember getting, besides Little Lulu, the first comic book I remember getting not from my dad was finding a Tales of the Unexpected issue on the ground at San Diego Comic-Con. It had been torn in half and just left there. I picked it up, I put it in a bag and board, and I still have it. So this title always sticks out to me. So this is a 2.0 for $27 from 1965, going up on G. We have Marvel Tales. This is the Marvel Tales is the reprint series that they did, but the covers and the issues that they're reprinting are getting so expensive and so out of reach. I actually think these are going to be getting a lot more popular. I'm just going to leave that door closed next time. You know that, right, guys? So this is a reprint of issue 2. The art is remastered, and sometimes on the back of these books, they feature the alternative cover, like the cover that was passed on. So it's the first time that those were actually published. Sometimes the editors would order more than one cover so that they could choose which one they thought was the best. And this is that's kind of like what makes these issues unique, as far as like there being material in them that had not been otherwise released. So this is a 9.4 plus for $26. I have 2 copies of this, and this is going to go up on H. And thank you, Wookie Fanatic. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. We got Kool-Aid Comics #1. I was so excited when I saw these, not because I'm really into Kool-Aid, I'm more of a Flavor Aid kind of guy, but I just assumed because I'd never seen them before and they were a little older and they had some name brand pop culture material on them that they were going to be on the more expensive side. They're not, at least not in these grades. So I have quite a few, but this one's an 8.0 for $15. #1, it's going to go up on Predator #1. One of my favorite movies, one of my favorite comics. Most of you guys who have seen the shows that I've hosted probably know this already, but I learned to read with Aliens and Predator comic books. My dad would take me to work. I would lose interest in working, and I would hang out in his office and flip through the very graphic Aliens and Predator trade paperbacks from Dark Horse, I want to say. Let me see. Yeah, from Dark Horse. And one of the coolest things is when I went to the Chicago Comic Con, I met the creators, the original publisher, artist, writer, all the guys involved. And I was able to tell them that they essentially indirectly taught me how to read, which I would say probably don't get that super often. But that's one of the cool parts about growing up in a comic book store. So Predator #1, 9.0 plus, $59. This book is super expensive and high grade. This is also a first print, and the other is a second print and an 8.0 for $39. And so the first print's going to go up on J. The interesting thing about the second print is there's only 540 of these on the census versus the first print, there's 3,286. So if my math is correct, the second print's actually a lot more rare and it's cheaper. Eventually, I believe the market will make adjustments for these kinds of things. As people love to find like additional nuance for books. It's like, like those little cool things about it, like, oh, this one's different because of this, that one's different because of that. The different printings with the different print runs and the availability of them on the, just on eBay and the marketplace, I think that will play a big, big role in their value in the long run. That's going to go up on K. Fantastic Four #243. We got the John Byrne kind of iconic covers from his very long run on Fantastic Four. It's a 7.5 for $14. We got Galactus there. He eats planets. I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. He likes planets. FF240, 9.2 plus for $12. It's a cool Black Bolt cover, and I believe it's also when they decide to move to the moon, which is a pretty cool option to have. Put that up on M for moon. Let's see. Yes, the Inhumans moved to the moon. Nailed it. And I've always wanted to read this one and see if he's telling the truth. But it says Honest Dr. Doom is not in this Marvel comic. Does anybody know if he's telling the truth? This is issue 258, 9.2 for $13, and I believe John Byrne drew himself on the cover. And it's going to go up on N. And this is our last book, #320. I got the overgrown Thing fighting Grey Hulk as a Grey Doctor Doom drawing on the cover. It's a 9.0 for $14. That's issue 320. I'm just going to leave it on there. Let's just call it W. That way it still looks. Ooh, I have one more. All right, this one actually is going to go up on O, but if someone says claim W, I'll give it to you. FF266, 9.0 for $14. Just another great John Byrne cover. That's going to stay up on W. That'll be the final book. This is the final wall. Hopefully that's the final meow. Fine. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I had a lot of fun with this. We're just going to keep on getting more and more selection and variety. I've been posting tons and tons of pictures. I think I've posted over 200 pictures of books that I'm working on right now. An amazing Tomb of Dracula run that'll be cleaning up, pressing, and hopefully making available, some of which will be available on Sunday at the Berkeley show. Others will be available during a show here on YouTube. And then also I got a pretty much every single Tomb of Dracula and Werewolf by Night issue, except for the major keys, But I still have like all the Blade storybooks. I still have all the Moon Knight storybooks, except for the first appearances. So keep an eye out for those. Keep an eye out for more kind of late 90s, 2000 variants, and just cool looking, very affordable books. And we will see you next Tuesday and indefinitely every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Moving forward. So I'm Lanvin signing off from Folsom, California, and that was Bill and Twitch with the Symphony of Meows. Good night.